Hi everyone, you're watching Swapping Notes with Pons and Fluff. I'm Daphne Iking.
And I am Sheril Bustawan. So, Swapping Notes is a show all about sharing our experiences being mothers, wives, women, and people, I guess. And today we're going to be talking about boobies. You recently had a baby. I have a
Yes,
baby.
yes.
It's one of the many things that has brought us together, our babies, and talk about babies and the weird
And it's,
hours that babies keep because babies.
and it's so odd because this is my fourth time around being a mom, right? So you think that I got it like just like that. But
Hmm.
here I am, just when I was pregnant, here I was getting advice from you, who's a
Hmm.
first time mom, like from your
Hmm.
own womb and stuff like that, right? Like,
Hmm.
okay, that, but I guess. And you started telling me, okay, this is what you should be doing, what creams to use, what bra to get, what latest device to do, and it's odd because here I am asking the new one about my breastfeeding journey. So isn't it odd? So I thought that maybe there are other mothers just like me who think they've had it all. I mean, they've experienced it everything, but they clearly are not experts in this field.
So when I got pregnant, I had nobody but my mother-in-law to talk to about being pregnant. Basically, there was my mother, but my mother was not great at being pregnant. I mean, like the woman smoked, drank coke, ate chips, so she was not a person that I was going to go to for maternal advice at all. And because there were no friends who were really going on this journey of being first-time moms with me, which a lot of
Yeah.
women have, I relied a lot on Googling. So I'm a producer. So because I am a producer, I need to have things in certain orders and with certain expectations. So I Googled a lot of things to find out how to go about this new infant thing. Because essentially you're keeping like this thing alive forever. But the first few months are like so crucial and I've never done it. So even though Zan has done it twice before, it was our first time doing it together. And I'm not really a baby person, so I really wanted to sort of be ready or have managed my expectations ke apa. This is when I was pregnant. And even after I was pregnant, throughout the first few months of his life, it was his parent was basically just Google. So everything I told you actually was from Google and also from I guess learn trial and error myself.
It's great that during your pregnancy, you knew that breastfeeding was going to be very much part of your post pregnancy. Like unlike me, I thought that
Mm.
it's not going to be. It was the birthing, and admittedly, the baju, the bed, the this, that. Breastfeeding was like the least of my problems. And then it became the first of my problems when it actually had to, when I had to do the actual latching on. In
Yeah.
fact, for Isabel, my firstborn, I only managed to breastfeed her for less than a month.
So this is your fourth time latching on, kind of. So how is it
Yeah.
different from the all the other times that you were direct latching? I mean, first of all,
It's,
obviously all babies are different, lah, right? It's not like
yeah,
it's a
absolutely.
standard. They're gonna come out and then straight away like know what to do, and then it's just like gonna work out like that. That never happened. So how was it different this time? I guess is the proper question.
I think it's different because well, the baby was a rizki from Allah. So so there was a bit of an emotional roller coaster going on there, but and also because I had you as my advisor in that sense in breastfeeding because like I said, it's odd because I got the advice from someone who's a new mom. But maybe it's also because I went to you because you recently just did have a
Yeah.
baby, so you would know. Like the rest of my friends, they're like they've got much
There
older.
is the baby in question.
There's a baby in the house,
Hi,
and that's why we just keep
Elan.
it
I love
real.
baby.
Baby needs
Oh
my
my
boob.
god, I cannot wait to gomol him. Oh my god, he's so cute. And he can't like run around or flip around yet. It's great. It's great. Anyway, yeah, you were saying yes. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, it's still direct latching. It's not as painful as I remembered it to be with Isabel. I'm more informed in that sense. So yes, I'm enjoying my direct latching. It's good for me because during the MCO, I'm basically stuck here at home anyway. So and like the third child, see, I have to like count one, two, three. The third child, where I have to do a constant pumping because I was constantly at work. Tapi ni lah, see lah, this baby just wants me here. But you
Yeah.
tried direct latching, right?
I
But
don't. I was very clear that I wanted to breastfeed this baby from the beginning because I am not very healthy. And I have a lot of health issues in the sense that I've got like sensitive skin, I've got sinuses, I've got asthma, and I really fully believe that it's because well, on top of the fact that my mother was not very careful during her pregnancy, she was also not very careful post pregnancy, and she never tried the breastfeeding. And
oh,
so I was never breastfed. I was formula fed from the beginning. So I personally really wanted to try breastfeeding this baby because I didn't want this baby to have the same childhood I had, where you're always running to the emergency room and you're always going to the hospital and you're always sick lah. It's not great being a sickly child lah.
do you think you're sickly because you were not breastfed? Do you believe that? Do you
I
think
think it's
that had?
accumulation of a lot of factors, but the evidence shows and the reading show that breastfed babies are have more immunity. It's not to say that they're healthier. It's just that you equip them with better immunity to sort of go out into the world. So it's not to say that breastfeeding babies and formula babies are less healthy. That's not true. It's just that
Right.
the breast milk that a mother makes is specifically catered to that specific baby. So it helps equip the baby with what the baby needs to grow up to be healthy. So I wanted my kid to have that, a good defense system, so that he can always be healthy and always just go out and do things without a lot of restrictions. So I said I would commit to breastfeeding this baby for at least a year, at least. And I wanted to fully breastfeed this baby, and I wanted to fully direct latch. So I bought the covers, and I also bought a pump because I heard that you should like at least still pump it out. But I had intended to direct latch. So the baby came out, and then it was time for the first direct latch, the first feed basically. And the
Yeah.
nurse that came was not very informative. She just said, okay, so now you have to feed the baby. And I was like, okay, I already knew this was going to happen. But I had just got the baby sliced out of me, and the painkillers were wearing off. So I was in all sorts of pain, in all sorts of areas, in pain that you didn't even know you could feel, on top of surgical pain. And this woman just comes, this woman that I don't even know her name. And she just like sort of pinches my nipple and twists it in
Oh
weird
my God.
places to try to get the milk out. Now, after doing some reading, I know that you're supposed to massage it out. So you push the milk from your breast into the direction of the nipple, not necessarily pinch and twist the nipple. So that was how she was trying to stimulate the milk. And obviously, it was just another element of pain. Anyway, she managed to get the milk out. It's not the milk, it's the apa
The
tu?
colostrum, right?
The colostrum out
Yeah.
the first time, and I put the baby there, and the baby started to drink. So that was fine. So that was day 1, 2, 3, and then on day 3, he sort of was very aggressive with the way that he was sucking the milk, or maybe I didn't latch on properly because again there wasn't really like someone to tell me how to do it properly, not properly, ke apa. And basically what happened was that my nipple bled. So he managed to
Oh.
tear through the skin, and then it bled, and it swelled up in a way that you never knew nipples could look like. I was at home, and it was swollen and bleeding, and I could not. He wouldn't take it. I wouldn't put it in his mouth either. It didn't look very sanitary. So then I decided to pump it out. And once I pumped it out, there was a little bit of blood in the milk. And then I read that it's actually safe to give babies milk that has blood from your body
From
specifically.
your own body. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, from
Interesting
your
to
body.
me.
So if your nipple is bleeding and then you pump out the milk, it's okay to give the baby the milk. So okay, I gave him the milk, and he took to the bottle so fast. Like just naturally, because I think he gets to drink a little bit faster. It's more to his pace. And I thought, okay, if this works for you, then I guess we'll just keep doing this lah. And that's how I became an exclusively pumping mother, because I decided that if it wasn't really working out, the direct latching for him, then I wouldn't want to keep on forcing him to do it. So that's why I decided to exclusive pump, which I really think was a good decision once I went back to work, because I immediately went back to work after my confinement, and I had to leave him for like weekends sometimes to go to work. And it would be good because there would already be a supply of milk left, and I would just have to keep my pump lah. And so I took my pump everywhere. I pumped everywhere. I pumped on the beach. I pumped in the cinema. I pumped in the car. I have pumped in all sorts of weird places.
You know what? You're so lucky because I don't know if you can hear me now because suddenly my earphones just died on me and the whole household just came alive. Anyway, yeah, keeping it real, guys. Keeping risk. But yeah, you're so lucky because the baby straight away knew how to use the bottle. Normally, they take a while, but maybe because he's so young, 3 days, there was no nipple confusion. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
But they say actually the younger the baby, the harder it is to get the baby used to the bottle. So yeah, you are right. I am very lucky. I'm also very lucky that Achilles is not picky, because some babies they prefer narrow teeth, some babies want a wide teeth. Achilles would just take anything you put into his mouth, anything.
And I just found out that being an exclusive breast pumping mom is not a new thing. There are other people out there, other mothers out there who decide to do just this.
Yeah, I think it's a good option if you are a mom like me that has to work a lot, because even though I work from home, officially I work from home, just like you, but we all know that that's a lie, because when you work from home, that means that there are long periods of time when you are not actually at home. For me, I'm a producer, so I do all the pre-production before, which is at home and my own time, and then when I have to go on production, I have to go on production. It means I gotta go. So it works for me because I can just take the pump and I can just go. And whatever I need to do, whatever work I've got to do, I can just bring the pump and I can just go. There have been times when I pumped on shoots also, even, and it hasn't been like a problem. So that is the freedom that is allocated to me. The other thing is that, of course, other people can feed my baby. And I felt like that was a really good thing because I wanted other people to also bond with Achilles. I don't really believe that mothers or parents in general raise their babies themselves. It's definitely like it takes a village kind of situation. So I want my entire village to be familiarized with this new addition and this new baby. So this meant that his auntie could feed him, my mother-in-law could feed him, my mother could feed him, Zan could feed him at night, which meant that we could take turns at night and I didn't have to wake up all the time, which also, as you know, when you are freshly out of the delivery room, kind of torturous lah.
That's what I'm a little bit envious about you being an exclusive breast pumping mom, because the baby Achilles doesn't have to depend on you so much. As long as the supply is there, everyone else can feed him, and that's fine. Whereas for me, because I direct latch, which is great also, it has its pros, definitely, the fact that I don't have to do any cleaning of the pumps, because you just direct latch, you get your source of food, and you're done. Habis. Malam, I don't have to go like, oh my God, where's the bottle, where's this, where's that. So there are its pros. I love the fact that I'm direct latching. But then sometimes it's just like, hey, I want to go out and meet Sheril and meet up with the rest of the team of Sabun Tete, for instance. And say, but then I'm like, wait, cukup kah my supplies? Because that day I need to save some for my work for this. Cukup or not? So that sort of like hinders me, my freedom of going out, at least for the next 6 months until he goes.
Or you have to bring the baby.
Or I have to bring the baby, which is
a whole different thing altogether.
Yeah, because you know how it is when you bring a newborn, right? You have to bring the whole entire house, can?
Yeah.
So annoying.
Yeah. The con for me is definitely the fact that while it's great that everybody gets to take turns to feed the baby, I don't really get like me time with Achilles. So I have to make me time with Achilles. So my me time with Achilles now is like early in the mornings. When he wakes up, because we wake up at the same time. Well, actually, he wakes me up. Okay, let's not lie. He wakes me up by climbing on me now. But even before, it would be like when he wakes up, and then I wake up, and then and then I'll put him in my bed, and then we just kind of like roll around together, and that's our time together. So I don't really get that, like, you know, time with Achilles alone because I feed him. I direct latch him. And also, yeah, there's a lot of bottles involved. There's a lot of cleaning involved. Before this, we had to sterilize. So when we went on holidays, it meant you have to find a way to sterilize. And we're really lucky because we got this sterilizer bag in which you just put in water, you put in the bottles, and you put it in the microwave, and then it's sterilized.
That's so
Yeah.
awesome.
But if I didn't have that, it would mean bringing my entire like sterilizer with me on holiday, which I cannot do live. I'm flying, right? So those are also the kind of cons that people need to consider when you're exclusively pumping lah. And when you exclusively pump, it's not like when you've got a baby on you, because essentially you're hooking yourself up to a machine that is pumping out the milk. So basically, you're a cow.
I
You're a
feel
cow.
you. Hi,
You're
sayang.
a
2, 3 words. Maka, I need to spell the 2, 3 words.
Okay, later I'll ask you. Are you going out to play? Okay, bye. Yeah, essentially you're a cow, like mass manufacturing this milk. And when you do that, it still releases the hormones to relax you, but instead of relaxing you, because you're not with your baby, you're not cuddling him, and it's like, oh, such a wonderful experience, you're basically just sleepy and tired. And when you have to do that every 2 hours, you're basically tired every 2 hours. And you can't obviously take a nap every 2 hours because you've got things to do, right? You've got other children to take care of, you've got work. So
You've got another man baby somewhere in the house to look after too.
and you cannot drink caffeine because then it'll go into your milk. So you basically just gotta like slug through your day. And
Actually, that's one thing I wanted to ask you. Because there's a lot of, I get a lot of DMs. Like, kak, janganlah makan durian. Janganlah makan jackfruit. Nanti baby tu banyak angin. Is there any truth to that? I play on the more, okay, fine, I'll listen to that. I better just don't because I don't want a cranky baby. But is there any truth to that?
I don't know about the jackfruit, but I have taken the durian and it's actually made my milk creamier, and Achilles seems fine. But Achilles is not the benchmark to compare because he eats anything and whatever. He doesn't care. But Malaysia in general, even though they are promoting breastfeeding as
Like
a
like you have to do it.
thing that you should be doing, is not particularly breastfeeding friendly, I feel. Okay, maybe I don't know. This is just my feeling. So number one, I don't like the fact that you can't sort of just pull it out in public. I know that people say it's indecent, but I personally don't think it's indecent because you're feeding your child.
Exactly.
There's no real other reason to why I want to show you my nipple in general. Sometimes I don't even want to show my husband my nipple, but kalau tak berdosa, so must lah, right? Number two, these breastfeeding rooms that they have, sometimes you get really nice ones, but then you have to go to really nice places to get really nice breastfeeding rooms. Otherwise, you get this like small cubicle next to the toilet with like one sofa and like a curtain, and you're supposed to sit there and feed your baby. And sometimes it smells. Let's be honest. Sometimes it smells.
Like I'm spending half my time in that room sanitizing the damn place.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and then I'll just go to a restaurant and just cover lah.
So
Fine.
yeah, and even that also you have to cover. And the thing is, even for whether you're direct latching or you're pumping, it's panas. If you're direct latching, I would assume it's even worse because there's a human under there who's having to
hates it. He's like,
yeah. I don't know. Like, I guess you and me, we would be pretty okay with showcasing our boobs to each other. And like when my other girlfriends are at the house or whatever, I'm just pulling it out.
Yeah.
Even when like my parents are here, I just pull it out. But I'm more discreet about when I'm attaching my pump. So very naturally, my father-in-law, my father will just like look away. It's not a big deal. We don't have to have a conversation about it or talk about it. They're just very respectful about it.
Yeah.
And they're okay when I'm putting on the pump and taking off the pump. But as you've seen, when you came to give me the Super Mama, I had to wear the cover, put on the pump underneath my cover, and then only take off the cover. And I think that's ridiculous because you literally see my nipple for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
Yeah. So you're just seeing like a bit probably like for me, because
A flash.
yeah,
A
just a bit of
tease of a
flesh,
nipple.
you know. So what I
Yeah.
do now is, because I've been ditegur so many times to like cover up, to the point where I just do it because I just malas. I'm just so malas to fight right now, right? But he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it's just panas for him.
Yeah.
So I'll just quickly do whatever I have to do, and then just enough, and then just open it, so enough to cover that small triangle of flesh
Mm.
that is being shown to nobody except the person who really wants to stare and try and look for my nipple, like the hums up person. I don't know.
Mm.
You know
Which
what
is
I mean?
why are you doing it when you know that it's just a baby feeding?
Right?
So there have been times when I've forgotten to take out the nursing cover and I've had to pump, and I'll be like, oh, I have to like pump, so I should probably wait till like sometimes when we're at the cinema ke apa, right? I should probably wait till the lights go up, but then it'll be hard for me to. And my husband will be like, but why? You're not doing something unnatural. You're not trying to be decent. And I'm like, yeah, exactly. But it's so ingrained, like the shame of showing off your nipple is so ingrained in me and in you that we just naturally like try to hide it. But there are progressive men out there like Zan who are like, but you're just feeding your baby. And I don't understand why Malaysia can't, push that as well as the breastfeeding. You're telling us to breastfeed our kids, but you're telling us please do it in private or in really small rooms. And then you're telling malls to please provide breastfeeding rooms for people, but they only do it for the bare minimum. And don't forget, these breastfeeding rooms can only fit one person at a time. So what if I need to feed my kid, but you're in there? Then how? What am I supposed to do? Wait half an hour? What's the plan here? So I don't think while Malaysia really pushes breastfeeding as a campaign and they're pushing breastfeeding to mothers,
Yeah.
they don't really provide us the right equipment to
Right.
breastfeed our kids.
And they're saying, I mean, surely, okay, because it boils down to the developer or the mall or the institute or whatever lah, the establishment that that they're supposed to make it more breastfeeding friendly. It becomes like a luxury if you're like, oh look, I'm a breastfeeding friendly establishment. That becomes like luxury. Like, oh my god, this is supposed to be a norm,
Yeah.
and yet this is like, wow, luxury, like top 10 breastfeeding friendly places in Kuala Lumpur in Klang Valley. Macam, huh? Shouldn't it be
Mhm.
like across the board?
Everywhere.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think there should be lists that list down which are the most breastfeeding friendly places. I think everywhere should be a breastfeeding friendly place. From the beach to the cinema to the mall to the parks to mana-mana really. You should just normalize, Malaysians especially in general, should just normalize breastfeeding and pumping in public because
Yep.
it's not something indecent. You let people eat in public, so what's the
Can't my
problem?
baby eat too?
Yeah,
And then, of
exactly.
course, yeah, like you are like opening your whole thingy and it's
Mm.
showing like your sexy body or whatever. We know how to do it lah, to
Mm.
do it the best way we can lah, without the cover. You know what I mean?
So clearly, we're not going to be like that. We understand what modesty is, but this is not really something that you should be kecaming us about because
Yep.
it's not. It's got nothing to do with modesty, really. It's just about feeding our child in the most natural way possible.
Very quickly, I'm just gonna add on. Most breastfeeding rooms are also attached to the nappy room,
Mm.
which also becomes a little bit of a hindrance because let's say I want my husband to go and change my baby's diapers, everything goes down to me again because
Yeah.
I can't go in because there's breastfeeding moms there and
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
want it there, so it becomes very
Yeah.
uncomfortable. I'm not even sure if it is gender, I can't remember now, but we just
Neutral?
assume, yeah,
No.
it's not right because
No,
we just assume
it's
breastfeeding
specifically some breastfeeding rooms say the parents and the baby. Some breastfeeding rooms say only the mother and the kid. Because look, if the to me lah, all right, if he's a decent guy and he's already got a baby, trust me lah, he's got no time to go and scolding your nipple, yo.
Yep.
He's not sleeping. He just wants to get like the baby's dirty diaper out of there, wet wipe the crap out of the crap, and get out. He's not interested in standing there. Oh, your nipple macam ni eh. Cantik, cantik, and like keep it for his spank bank ke apa. No, bro. Like If he's already, I feel like if the guy's already changing the diaper, he's not gonna be a creeper lah.
You just focus on that.
Because,
Yes.
because he's
Get
already
out.
so distracted with the diaper. And
Right.
that's kind of common sense, isn't it? Or is it not? It should be. I feel like it is common sense, but I don't know. So yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of fat boobs, right?
Mm-hmm. So if anybody out there has any breastfeeding experiences or challenges that you like to share, drop us a comment below, or they can DM us at Daphne Iking and at Sheril Saman on Instagram. And they can follow us on Instagram and also subscribe to Daphne's YouTube channel specifically for more swapping notes content.
That's
So
right.
yay! That was our first
Episode
episode.
of Swapping Notes with Pons
Yes.
and Fluff, and we will be showcasing or sharing more episodes to come. But yes, if you have any suggestions of topics, we would really, really love to hear from you. All right. So I'm Daphne Iking,
And I'm Sheril Saman.
and we are signing off.
Bye.